fellow string pickers. Run to the noise. Let's go!
Are you really gonna look at this cute face and not subscribe?
Welcome back, you bunch of string picking guys and gals, to the String Pickers channel, and for an episode of Awesome People Send Me Stellar Stuff. That's right, string pickers, we've got a package. And what the crap? I'm just kidding. I've had that package for a little bit, but I did get what was in it out. And here's a little bit of story time. You see these? You see that? Ladies and gentlemen, my friend Jason over at Midlife Crisis Guitar contacted me quite some time ago and wanted to know how to start a YouTube channel. As of me making this, he hasn't got any videos yet, but he is preparing. So we've been in contact with each other through email first, then text messages, phone calls. We've talked to each other quite a bit about how he needs to start his YouTube channel. He wanted to know how to get some of the effects I've got, like what just rolled in right here. You see that? You see right down there? Yeah, stuff like that. And he just wanted me to give him a few pointers and everything. Well, a friendship was born. Jason is just a heck of a good guy. I mean, really is. He's a veteran. Told me a story about how he lost his house a couple of years back due to a fire. And in that house was 3 pets. It bothers me because I think that we don't deserve animals. We really don't. I've seen how people treat cats and dogs and their pets, and it bothers me to a level where I don't want to go. But he lost 3 of his pets. And in that house fire was a Gibson Les Paul. And that Gibson Les Paul was kind of Jason's prized possession. It was a really, really nice guitar. He had sent me a few pictures here and there. And anyway, it got scorched pretty bad in that fire. So he sent me these parts. He had sent the guitar off for repairs, and they took off all of the old parts and they put on new parts, and they redone his guitar, I think is what he was telling me. And he says every time he looked at these parts, it just kind of broke his heart a little bit, which, hey man, I can understand. You know, anybody that's ever went through something like that, it's got to be just very hard on you. So anyway, he sent me some Grover locking tuners that came off of that Gibson Les Paul. When he bought it, it had these on there. So I know what you're thinking. Well, those look awful shiny. They'll be in a house par. Well, that's because, string pickers, I went through a grueling process to clean these things up. It was absolutely worth every second of it. I took a toothbrush to them. I took polish to them and stuff to get the soot off of them. And they just look fantastic now. They're all shiny. They look like new. And we are going to put those on. That's right. We're going to put them on Draco. That's the reason why I was playing him in the intro of this video. Oh, and by the way, I apologize for, I just started trying to learn the solo over that backing track about an hour and a half before I started shooting the video, so I might have messed up in a couple of spots. But it don't matter. These songs I've played for 30 years, I still mess up on. So just get off my back. So yeah, we're going to take those Grover locking tuners and we're going to replace these ESP branded tuners that came on this guitar. Why? Not because the ESP tuners are bad. These tuners are amazing. They are simply amazing for just your run-of-the-mill ESP branded tuners. They're awesome. They do what they are supposed to do. That's all I gotta say. But the reason why I wanted to put them on this guitar is I told Jason I would put it to good use. I would bring a piece of that history back into the light, use them on one of my instruments that I play often, and I play that thing often. I love that guitar. You guys know I put a lot of work into it. Work that it didn't need, work it did need, but I just love it. It's got great action, it's got great everything. But we are going to replace those tuners. He also sent me the bridge that came off of that guitar. Spent a lot of time cleaning on that one too. I don't know if this is going to work. If it does, I'm going to have to find and order some of the bushings that go down into the body, because he did send me the bridge pins, but the bridge pins are smaller than the ferrule that it screws into the wood, or bushing, or I don't know what you call it, but they are smaller. So I may have to order some of those. If not, I may have to see what I can do to get around that. But I do want to use that bridge. I like that bridge. It's really nice. And I'm definitely going to use those tuners in that guitar. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's $100 guitar. So yeah, you can go ahead and say it. You only spent $100 on that thing. Why are you putting them expensive tuners in it? You know, if you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. Well, string pickers, this is my way of honoring Jason. And for what he's done for this country, for everything that he's gone through, I just want to say, Jason, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for this awesome gift. It's just amazing. You didn't have to do this, man. You really didn't. I mean, you guys have seen a lot of people send me awesome stuff. They do. You've seen the video where I took the Firefly FFLX and I put a set of Zakk Wylde EMG pickups in there. Those things are hot. They absolutely scream. You can hit harmonics on those pickups, walk away, make a sandwich, watch an episode of Andy Griffith, have dinner with somebody later that evening, come back, and it's still ringing out. So yeah, I have a big thank you for John for those pickups. I'm having a lot of fun with that guitar, brother. That thing is awesome. And a big thank you to Jason for everything, for our conversations, for our friendship, for the gift of these tuners when you didn't have to give them to me. I really do appreciate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get over here on the bench and we're going to put these things on that guitar. Well, string pickers, I am excited about this one. I really am. This is such a great honor to be able to do something like this. We are taking our old tuners off here. Once we get these bad boys off, we're going to put them in a bag, label what they are, where they come from, in case we ever need them again. That way we'll know these are good tuners. So let's get these bushings out of here. You know, I've never had a problem out of these tuners the whole time that they've been on this guitar, and they've been on here ever since I got the guitar. A little nick on the back of the neck. I may have to take care of that before long. Now, let's get a little bit of spray action going here. Clean that off just a little bit. Yeah, I was just sitting back thinking, man, I have made some mods to this guitar. We have done everything from Scotch-Brite in the back of the neck. The back of the neck looks absolutely amazing and feels amazing at that. Let's see here. And these are not going to work, ladies and gentlemen. These are not going to work at all. I've got some holes to fill. Yeah, I have got some holes to fill, and I got to drill some new ones. Okay, so the first order of business is going to be filling these holes, and I'm not even sure. Yeah, I'll have to paint over those too. Man, that sucks. I was really wanting these things to work. You can see once it's sitting in here like this, you can see the hole is offset to the side over there. So that's what we're going to do, string pickers. We are going to fill some holes, so we might as well get our wood glue out. Show you guys how to do this real quick. Better get another couple of toothpicks out here because probably going to need those to tight bond on here. Clear out that little hole right there. There we go. Shouldn't take no more than that. Close it back down. Wipe off the end here and put it back up. And then we are going to get our handy dandy little even cut nippers out here, and I'm going to clip these in half. All right, and then all you got to do is just dip the end of it down right here. You don't need a bunch, just enough. And then we're going to do it again. Like I said, you don't need a bunch, just enough. So I'm guessing what the plan is going to be is we're going to put these toothpicks in here, and we're going to give them some time to set up. Now once these set up, we are going to come back and we're going to nip these things off right at the hole. And you know what? I'll tell you what we can do right now. This is something that I have been looking into. Big, huge shout out to Chris over at BCG 5150. We're going to move those out of the way for now and go ahead and try this on this video. Now I do know that these were in a fire, and I do know that the heat of a fire can do some bad things to your guitars. Well, everything for that matter. But what we are going to do is we are going to put some marine grease in every one of these right here. Chris at BCG 5150 had mentioned this in a video quite some time back when it comes to packing these things with grease. It said marine grease is the way to go. So I have some marine grease, and this is the kind that we have. It's probably not the best kind on the market, but marine grease all the same, and it's a new and improved formula. So bought a 3-pack of these. I'm going to start using this stuff in these tuners to keep them good and lubed up, because string pickers, I'm just going to tell you right now that I do know for a fact, if you ever have an instrument or any kind of anything in a house fire, stuff like grease will thin out and run out of these things, and they're just horrible. Just absolutely horrible. There's probably a very thin layer still in there. I do not know, but to be on the safe side, I do want to pack these with grease. So let's check them real quick. Yeah, turning okay, but there is quite a bit of resistance. That could be in the screw holding on that thumb peg. All of them are about the same, so just want to give it a shot. I put some in this syringe right here. This is like a medicine syringe for babies that you can get at pharmacies, you know. I do have a grease gun coming that has needle points to get down in real fine into areas like this, because these do not come off. They are on there, brother. I'm telling you. So what I'm going to do is put just a little bit right here on the edge. There we go. And I'm going to get us the Baroque piece of toothpick that we had just a minute ago, and I'm going to run this around so we can get it down in here. This is just a test. I'm not actually going to put the grease to these things until I get that pump with the needle on the end of it. This is just going to be a test to see if it improves turning this thing any at all. So got a little bit of grease on there, and I will clean this up later, but for now I just want to try it out, move it around just a little bit to see if it's going to, if I can feel the same kind of resistance. Oh yeah, well that's already better. Still got the resistance, not very hard to turn at all. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Thank you, Chris, brother. Just want you to know I don't get a chance to comment on every one of your videos, but I do watch them. My life is kind of chaotic sometimes, and so a lot of you out there ever wonder why you never see a string pickers comment. Well, why the string pickers don't comment on all your videos is because my life is chaotic. I have a special needs daughter with appointments. I also have appointments. I also trying to run a small business out of my home where I fix people's guitars, do setups, mods, repairs, stuff like that. You guys have seen a couple of those guitars already. Sometimes the customer doesn't leave them overnight. They take them the same day, so I don't get to film those. But usually the ones that have to have a lot done to it, those are the ones that I have to really do. You know what? The LTD one has more weight on it than the Gibson one, and the Gibson one is not going to fit on this guitar. I've checked it. These holes right here for the bridge post are too small for what I have. They are the right distance between the two. If they were a bit smaller, I could use this bridge, but I'm not going to be using this bridge on this guitar because even with the bridge posts that come in this, the threaded part on the bottom of the bridge post is actually too small to fit into the pole pieces that are in the body of the guitar. So I will be hanging on to this. This will be a future project that maybe I might get to put it on something else I have in here. I'm not really sure. I can already tell that these have caused quite a bit of stir because I'm not going to be able to use these and just put them right into the same screw hole. So that's going to be an issue right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop right here on this guitar, and we are going to wait and then come back, and we're going to clip these off, and we're going to dress this up, and then after that we're going to come back and put the new Grover locking tuners on there, drill new holes, and once we get the new holes drilled, then all we've got to do past that is just to install them, get the strings back on them, which I have right here. Then she'll be ready to play. So this might be a 2 or 3 day process simply because I've got to wait on my grease gun with the little needle spout on it to grease these tuners up really good. Although that one did take, I do want just a little bit more in there than what there is. There was very little that got down into that one. Yeah, see, this one's got a lot of resistance. So yeah, and that one's got even more resistance. So yeah, we're going to do that. So we're going to cut right here, and I'll see you in 2,000 years.
2,000 years later.
Let's go! Strike the steel, feel the voltage rise. 6 strings screaming like a battle.
You can't be up here, buddy. You gotta go now. You're gonna cause some issues. Always curious to what I am doing. You're such a good boy, Vic. Back. Okay. Go on now. You're killing me. You're killing the vibe. Okay, string pickers, we are back 2,000 years later. So basically what we have done is we have let the toothpicks dry in the holes here, and we've come back with our little flush cut nippers and nipped them off. Once we done that, I sanded each one of them a bit with the Dremel and then covered them with some black nail polish. Now I'm not going to sand these, because if something happens and I ever go back to another style of tuner, then I want to be able to know where the old hole was. That way I can line up with it. On these, we went ahead and put them in here snug. I shot a time lapse of that whole thing. I want to show you guys exactly what I did. So basically I got them snug with the bushing on the other side, and I just come in with a straight edge, being as these are Grovers and they come down, I just come in with a straight edge, mashed up against them, lined them up, turned all of the tuning keys up to where they wouldn't be in the way, lined them up, got them good and snug right where they're at, and they are really good and lined up right now. So from this point, I am going to take this tiny little drill bit and a hammer, and what I'm going to do is put it down in these screw holes just like this right here, and I am going to peck. This will give us a marking to drill. Okay, so now all we got to do is move these out of the way just like that, and I have little indentions right where I picked that down in there. So I'm going to go ahead and drill these holes real fast, and then we're going to get these screws in here. I've already got my drill out with a little piece of blue tape on it so we can go to the right depth without going through. And we're going to do this very slowly because we don't want to eat too fast and then wind up coming out the other side. All right, now let's go ahead and get them lined back up and get the screws in them. Now this doesn't always work for every guitar. This is just how I like to line up your 3x3 tuners. And the 3x3 tuners, I mean in 3 right, 3 left. There's a different method on how to do it when it comes to inline tuners. Things are looking good. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down real fast, and then we'll come back to us getting the strings and stuff back on them.
Plug it in, strike the steel, feel the voltage rise. 6 strings screaming like a battle cry. From the basement to the stage, we ignite the wild. Blood, sweat, riffs, this is how we fire. Callous hands, bent notes, feedback rate. Every scar earned in the game. If you live for the chug and the solo attack, you're home right now, no turning back. New blood knocking at
The next day.
Yeah, man, that is where it's at, string pickers. I've just got to say that I've never owned Grover locking tuners. I've never owned a Gibson Les Paul custom or standard, anything like that. I've always owned equipment that I made my own and bought them cheap, made them good guitars. Those tuners are just fire. I mean, just I have beat the time out of this guitar. Today, from the intro to now, is the next day from when I started this video. I have played and played and played these things. Has not dropped tuning at all. I have not had to make any adjustments to it. This guitar is just like 100% better as far as playability. I don't have to worry about any kind of tuning issues whatsoever. I want you guys to know out there that when you get locking tuners, that doesn't mean that it's better tuning stability than anything else on the market. However, the name Grover does. Grover locking tuners are just the bomb. I mean, just absolutely great. We've got marine grease packed into there because I did spot 1 or 2 that had a little bit of grease in them, but I put some more in there because I know that some of them looked kind of dry, and I wanted to keep as much lubrication in those as possible because in a house fire, I'm sure it got hot enough for some of that to melt, get real thin, and then just run out of there, you know. But yeah, Jason, thank you, brother. really. I'm sad that I can't use the bridge, but I'm going to go on a hunt for some of the pieces that go into the body here, for those pole pieces to fit into. That bridge is the same width as this bridge is. I mean, exact. And I want to use that bridge on this guitar. So maybe at a later date, I'll be able to use it on this one. I would rather keep that and these tuners on the same guitar as opposed to moving that bridge to another guitar that I have. But yeah, great upgrade for this guitar. And like I said, you guys are probably wondering, why do you want to stick tuners on a guitar that's worth less than what the tuners are? Well, because I'm honoring someone that I have gotten close with over the past couple of months. He gave those tuners to me, and I had to put them on that guitar because that guitar is just the definition of making an instrument your own. When I got that guitar, I despised how it looked. I couldn't stand it. The one thing I did love about that guitar was the pickups. I kept that guitar because I knew it would be great. I knew with enough time and enough love put into it that it would definitely be something that would become one of my faves. And it has. I have no plans of that guitar ever going anywhere. It will not be sold. It will not leave my studio unless I'm, of course, taking it somewhere to play or something like that. But that guitar is just amazing. It really is. And those Grover locking tuners have made it even that much more amazing. So if I was going to rate those tuners, I would have to say the second 5-star I've ever give. The first one was the Head Rush, and now these tuners. 5-star all day long. I would say that the price point for those is probably a little steep, but I mean, really, you pay for what you get with a lot of things. So that in consideration, those are 5-star all day long. But guys, that's all I got for you. Just wanted to come in and install these tuners and get this on video so you guys could see Grover locking tuners are the bomb. I'll just say it. Fight me in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you like Grover tuners or you prefer a different brand, or if is there tuners that you dream about having on a guitar. Just leave it in the comments down below. Guys, as always, I have affiliate links in my description for some of the things that you've seen on this channel. If you decide that you want the wrap for that guitar, that strap, if you want anything in here that I have a link for down there, just keep in mind that I do get a small commission from that from Amazon. I'm not saying you have to use those links. I just put them there just in case. It does help out the channel, helps me to grow a little bit, take care of some of the costs here. But with that being said, I pray that you and yours are having the most blessed day ever, and I pray that God is with you all. Until next time, later.
Let's go!